Hello people! Hello people, hello people, Papa Carlo. Juris is the piercer. We had some conversations and we always talk about tattoos, and I'm a piercer in the first place, and Carlos was wondering about many things, what I do behind them doors. So he will ask me things, I'll try to answer.
Yeah, I'll try to be as polite as possible. Forgive me for my stupidity too.
Tattoo shop piercing talk.
Yeah, interesting. Check it out.
You know?
Yeah, let's do work.
Yeah.
Talk.
And Carlos was like, what are you doing? I was like,
What is your work?
like, sometimes I pretend that I'm tattooist, but I'm piercer, like, originally. Before everything, I'm a piercer. And
Yeah, I knew about you before I met you, and only about piercer things.
So I stab people for a living.
Also, I heard that. Yeah.
So you had some questions
So I
about what's
I'm
happening
gonna go
behind
with the
that
questions
door.
on you.
Shoot.
I'll try to be gentle. How did you become a piercer?
The classic Baltic way. I wanted a piercing, couldn't afford one, made on myself. Then my friends started to ask about them, started to pierce my friends. Complete uneducated way.
But at that point, you already knew that you're gonna be making living out of it, or
No, that was only a few shops, and I was like I was going there as a customer and learning from them, but it didn't seem like an option to get in any place.
So, but you learned it just to do it for your friends and yourself, or what?
I was kind of, I was dedicated to it, but I just didn't see as a career option. And then later I got offered to go to England. Like some dude opened a shop, and they were like come to England, and I know a guy who can teach you, and like he's teaching people for. I fixed this shit while I'm talking to you.
I'm sorry.
So yeah, I went to England, and then I got this like chance to go to one shop where a guy have shop for 20 years, and he was like teaching and showing me all stuff. And so in England I started sort of my work, professional work. I started in England, and that's where I learned the most. That's where I made sure that what I know is actually all right. I'm not damaging people.
Yeah. And from there you just
learn, and then I went to some seminars and all that. And every time you visit some seminars, you're like, oh, the things I thought I'm really professional about. I'm really at them. Like I have to learn a lot more.
But it's good that you went. You're the only piercer I know, I think. And I don't know many. I know probably two.
Also, I want to go to more of them seminars, because also the thing evolves, and there's new techniques and new ways of doing things. So you never know everything. There's always more stuff.
I wanted to also know, like how did you, like you didn't do straight piercings in the crazy areas, right? Or you did try things like that from beginning straight away, like fuck it, let's see how it's gonna go. How did you build?
That was also these rumors at the beginning, even like oh, you pierce an eyebrow and you pierce into nerve and you like get
I remember.
Blind or something, and then like you start to read more and more, and like that's never mentioned, and then you try the piercing and you're like, okay, I'm not blind, my friend is not blind.
I did even eyebrow piercing for some guy. Completely, don't do this, please. But we did it at home, completely wasted, and with some net tools that you should do it. And we stabbed him many times till we made the hole.
Yeah, but every new piercing is like always like, oh shit, this is happening now. And then obviously when you get to some more sensitive areas, like it's always stress, but. Again, then I went to that learning thing, and this area was explained and showed, and I had a chance to try it, and that was like super stressful. And later on, I had some customers where I explained that like I really have very little experience, and they were fine. They trusted me, but it was super stressful. And yeah, and then when you get used to it, then you're like, still like some piercings are like it's not everyday piercing, so it feels a bit more stressful. But it's not fun. Like friends sometimes ask, they're like, "Oh yeah."
Yeah, I've heard, even for tattooers, but not as much, and for piercing guys, there is always this like, oh, so probably you see a lot of nice spots, and
Yeah, like
shit,
you
don't
don't
focus on them.
you don't see them like that. But it's always that question. Like, you do piercings, yeah? What do you pierce? Like, well, almost everything. Like, oh yeah, you touch boobies and get paid, and it's like,
you
yeah,
don't
it's
even
not like that.
Yeah. When you're focused on work and want to do it properly, you don't even pay attention. I mean, we have similar with tattooing. I have people ask, and I'm like,
Yeah, it's not that.
I'm not an animal yet.
Yet. Or
At the day.
or teenager anymore.
When I'm working, when it's dark and the moon is out.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'll move to the next question. That's really, I think, yeah. I mean, working here and seeing with what kind of customers you're dealing, and one of these popular migraine piercings are going out of rails. Everyone is going crazy, jumping through the windows, want to get one. Is it working, and what's your experience? What do you think?
It's a fun thing. Like, it started, I think, 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, there was some articles. I think it started in States that like you can get date piercing. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correct, but piercing in there. So I think it's called date.
In that stiff area.
It's inside the ear, and like
zoom in.
In there. I will show some pictures, and that it helps migraines. And I thought, oh yeah, that's Americans. Then year later, it reached UK. I was like, okay, it's coming. And then there was a couple articles in magazines or on internet that it have helped some people, and people started to come and ask for that piercing. And I don't believe in that myself, like in acupuncture or something. But from practice, it helped. Like, I would say half of the customers. But there's some articles that there's some magical piercer with some magical tools who knows exact spot where to do it to help migraines. I'd never say that to customers. I know where to place it so it's safe for piercing, so it heals, and if it helps, it helps. Like, I'm not a doctor.
But
like,
what do you think? There is a magical spot? From your experience, what would you say?
I would say that it helps because, like, everyone's ear is different. So to find that magical spot, and sometimes you can't even do it. Like, I've seen some people have done it on the places where it shouldn't be done, and it's just done to be done. And like, it's not safe from the piercing point of view. And does it help for migraines or not? But I think it can cause so much trouble with the piercing itself that your migraines will be last thing you worry about. You will have messed up piercing.
Yeah.
But it's there. Like, before this whole stuff kicked off, I've done that piercing maybe 5 to 10 times in like 5 years. And in last 2 years, I think I've done like 300 maybe.
Yeah,
And people still coming, and still people coming and saying that it helps, and also people sometimes coming and they're like, no, take it out, it doesn't help. And I don't want.
But there's more those who say it helps.
Yeah. But I always say, like, I'm not a doctor. I can guarantee that you'll get a piercing, that it's gonna look cool. But I'm not promising you magic. Go to the doctor and cure headache.
Fucking nice. I don't have migraine, but maybe I should just have a backup.
Yeah,
Just screw it in.
I don't think it helps with hangover headaches. Maybe I should write.
Maybe both of you.
Maybe I should write an article, spam it all over internet, and every Saturday morning we'll have lots of people queuing up for.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
So did you mentioned it before or already that the piercing has some specific material that's made of?
We use titanium, so it's like
For migraine? Or it's just the spot that's placed?
No, any piercing is titanium, so it's like safe in terms of allergies and all that. I think maybe people have headaches if they have like piercings with some crap jewelry, and maybe that's
What materials they shouldn't get?
just any China nickel thing
Yeah, that breaks quick.
that breaks, that cracks, that's maybe causes allergic reactions, that has a lot of nickel in there and stuff.
Yeah. What about infections? What's the craziest thing you've seen, and how do you deal with customers with? Or it's
Sometimes they mad swollen and some stuff comes
Like,
out, but like
that would be the most common thing, right? Like the swollen.
yeah, but also like if I'm not sure, I always say go visit doctor, and like because I'm not playing smart ass, like, you know, I know how to treat piercing, and if there's something I haven't seen or I don't have experience, I just say go visit doctor, and then we see what's doable. You can always take it out, but sometimes it's not good to take it out, because if it's mad messed up and it you can close the bad stuff inside, like, you know, you take it out and it closes and they don't have chance to drain it.
Yeah.
But it all depends on situations. Like, I haven't seen anything like that crazy. Maybe
Like,
it's good.
like losing the vision.
No. Yeah, that's losing vision is one thing, but there's also like some myth about piercings there that that's usually ladies worried about, that you can lose sensation.
Oh,
Like they don't feel anything after piercing, but I
like there or there.
yeah.
Wow, ladies.
Yeah, I haven't have anything like that in my experience, but I had when things get more sensitive while it's healing. And then I heard that maybe like things get more sensitive when it's healing, and when it's back to normal they are like upset and they're like, oh, I preferred when it was like tingle in my mingle.
What's the craziest rumors you ever heard?
I think it's just that, losing sensation, like the eyebrow thing, you pierce eyebrow and you go blind.
I even know that shit. I was a kid, I remember.
I think maybe that's how parents scared people into not getting piercing.
Might be, yeah.
Also, like the acupuncture rumors where like somebody made a piercing and like didn't feel like left side of their body or something like that.
What do you think about, for example, about the pistol? I know that probably everyone already knows about it.
Like, the basic.
It's hard to clean it, right?
Yeah, it's hard to clean. You can't put it on autoclave. You can like just wipe it off or something. So technically, you can get some souvenir from somebody else.
So all the moms who want to bring their kids, small kids, to these places, I know it's pretty common.
Also, like it's more like damaging because it's not so sharp as needle is. So it's that pushing, and it's like. I think it's originally designed only for earlobes, but people do cartilages, noses, lips, and all that, and that jewelry is not made for that, so that's dangerous. But you mentioned kids, like I understand that there's some cultures where it's a tradition to have their kids like ears pierced, but I think it has to be like, that's my opinion, my personal opinion. Don't want to offend anyone, but it has to be kids' decision first of all. So like toddlers are like, I don't think it's cool. I don't think like they can look after it. They can't even sometimes tell what's wrong, and they catch it and all that. So that's in my opinion like
wait
unethical. And also when kids want some, like, you know, people come in with their moms and they're like, that's my daughter, she wants like piercing there and I'm okay with it. I think it should be like depending on country, but it should be from the legal age when kid can make decision, because it leaves a scar, and especially if it's like, okay, if it's ears or something, it's not that bad, but
this stays forever. It's
that
like
stays
permanent
like
damage.
crazy, and like
It can get bigger, right? Like mine.
Like if it messes up or something, and that's scar in the face.
Yeah.
Even I had like sometimes where it's like some girl who's like underage and mom calls like, oh, my daughter wants a nipple piercing, and like I don't think that's legal to do it anywhere. Like if person is underage and
Yeah,
like,
that's fucked
even
up.
your mom wants it or allows it, but I don't think that's legal. Like, and then talking about morals.
I mean, you should know that shit.
Like,
If she's underage, you want some random dude touching her boobs. That's like, fuck off, man.
yeah, and it's like that's not for me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it. Like, mom allows it and whoever allows it, like, no. And that's funny how people like get like upset, but I'm like, I need ID and I need to see your ID that it's you, so it has to be with picture. You can't just show some card where it's somebody's name, like, because I can't see that it's you if there's not a picture.
Yeah.
Like, you can grab somebody else's card and like also like, oh, can I call my mom, and she will say that it's okay. But it's like, you can call anyone, like, you know, it's like, make an effort, get your IDs, get your mom, come in both with your IDs, then we talk. Like, oh, can they write a letter, like, you know?
Yeah, weird shit. I never understood when people don't understand. Like I mean, I remember I got upset when I didn't get that cigarette package when I was underage, and I was buying it, and I was like, "What the fuck? This guy don't idiot. He's not selling me shit like that, you know."
I'm a grown-up.
Yeah.
I'm 15 and a half.
Idiot. It's the same. You're like you're like this kind of wizard like person who likes to make other people's lives more enjoyable, and you help people with migraine piercing and with headaches. What else you could do for someone's life to become more beautiful? The you know, James Bond movies.
Well,
if you know what I mean.
man do some things today.
What the man do? What the man do?
Today, little friend.
Ding dongs?
Today, ding dongs, and it's all like makes them kind of more fun and efficient for the ladies because there's some extensions, but that's like some piercings or these little beads under the skin, so like so-called speed bumps. I'll put my blog in here, so that's where you can see some stuff if you're interested in it, but be careful. There's also a warning on that blog that you might see things you don't want to see, so that's
next level shit. That's not a piercing anymore.
There's also a piercing, and it's
that makes thing
that stimulates their partners, I would say.
Okay, that would be the perfect term.
Yeah, and I think
James
like
Bond movie, I would say.
I felt really kind of proud, not proud, but like I felt good that I could help people to feel better. Like for ladies, sometimes they get like inverted nipple, it's called, and you can get it out and you can make a piercing and it stays out, and they usually like they're really happy because they say like, oh, like I had this nipple or both nipples and I wasn't happy with the look, but with that piercing you can.
Is it going in?
It's kind of, when it's not on fire, it kind of rolls a bit in.
Holy fuck.
And if you can...
Never seen really.
Maybe
just
when you see...
Call me.
Maybe when you see nipples, they're always on fire, but like...
Yeah, but I know... Fuck,
But
that's
it's-
amazing. I didn't know.
It's a thing that you can sort out with the piercing, and like... And if it makes people feel good or feel better about themselves, like that, I feel really
body
good about it.
modification or tattooing, whatever I call body. That's pretty much also like a body art, yeah. Body modification kind of.
You modify something anyway.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Even your like tattooing, piercing,
And
working out.
Yeah, and
Putting
it
plastic
helps
boobs.
a lot of these things sometimes. I mean, not always piercings or tattooing you have to take as a vulgar
Yeah,
thing.
as a punk rock thing.
Yeah, because there is people covering scars and with the piercings, or like you said, the people.
Also, trends change because like back in the day, septum was only like a goth punk rock thing. Now, like so
all
many
the chicks do it.
Yeah, it's like famous actresses, musicians all have like septums. Also, the nose ring, it was like old school. Then all the ladies were getting some little stones, and now it's back to the ring. So the trends change, and it's just a matter of following what's cool.
Don't copy
like,
my shit.
Yeah.
Don't copy my shit. That's me. That's my shit. I found out about it. F off.
So yeah, that's all cool. What else? Is there anything else?
Fucking amazing.
I don't know.
I want to hear some advice maybe for some piercers who want to become like...
To become piercer?
Yeah.
Well, that's a tough one. Get apprenticeship.
For sure.
I don't know, like there's all these schools and all that, but them schools are... I don't know anyone who finished that school and who would say that it's good, but there's a lot of like even seminars that are open for people who's apprentices and all that, so just matter of finding a good one. Yeah. But I think it's always like with tattooing and everything, like if you are a good customer and if you know the place and if you know the people who work there, they will give you an advice and they'll guide you where to look for information and how to learn stuff.
Yeah. You can always go ask.
Maybe don't start like I did with wrong needles in the backyard, because it can be damaging.
Yeah, you can affect someone's life.
Like the biggest trouble...
In a bad way.
The biggest trouble, I think, like, again, like we talked, we had a concept of changing needles. That was the shit. Tools were like mostly no tools or some DIY stuff that was changed, but there was a thing that you clip together like a piece of paper, and it had these round things that you could use like a clamp or some tweezers, or sometimes even no tools. But the jewelry was just some random crap, and like I know from my own experience, it was like irritated all the time. The jewelry was scratching stuff, so I had like cartilage done with the gun, and it like I took it out when my ear turned purple. So, and again, it's 21st century. There's so many pages where you can find stuff on how to do things. So just before you think that you have figured out things, do some research.
It takes quite time to figure out all. You cannot, if you think you know by doing it only for 1 year.
And also, like for piercing, it's not only stabbing things. Like you can, if you can train if you can train a bear ride a bicycle, you can probably also train a monkey to do piercings. But like it's knowing what jewelry works there, like what should be done, like on what angle, what's best way to do it, how to look after things. Also with somebody in and something goes wrong, you should know what to do. So it's not just like matter of stabbing holes, because some people like, oh, I wouldn't be able to do it because I can't like stab someone with a needle. But I think that's only half of the fun. Like you have to know many other things.
Yeah. What else you do?
Nothing much. I do things depending on where I am.
Like scarification?
Do some scarifications. I do some... I like to call them mini body modifications.
Yeah.
I don't do some crazy stuff.
But scarification, you get more comfortable.
I feel comfortable with all that gentleman stuff, with the speed bumps. I feel pretty comfortable with. I've done some magnets, them...
I have like one more question. Let's make it as a last one, because it's gonna be pretty interesting if you opt for it.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna talk about Schwabrest now, but it's about your personal experience. What is your personal experience, and if you learn from it, or You know what I mean, yeah?
My personal experience would be that I haven't tried all piercings, but I tried many of them, and most of the things I do to others, I've tried on myself. So yeah.
And you mostly tried it before you try on others? So
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Like I think before I try something on other, I have it on myself. So I have that first-hand experience, and I think it's fair, and often it calms people down when they ask, like, "Oh, do you have it done, or have you tried it?" And when you say, like, "Oh yeah," I'm like, it's the same with tattoos when people are like, was this painful? And you're like, "Oh yeah, it was this and that," and then people know that, like, "Oh, he has it, like, it's okay. I can trust it. I can trust the person." So
I remember, yeah. Maybe you need more piercings on your face.
I had a lot of piercings there, that stuff. I had some in ears, at nipple. I had something there. So
People always ask about tattoos. How many? And the same with piercings. Is that annoying? Because the number changes.
No, it's not that annoying. But like I have like now this jewelry in which I had out for a long time. I rarely remember to put something in my ears, but I think it must feel strange for a people to have piercings from a guy that don't have any piercings. So I'm
Definitely.
like, I'll leave something in because I had a lot, but I think it's like the same a bit weird feeling when tattooists have no tattoos. So
Exactly. Are you still into wanna do some more sometimes on your own, on yourself? Wanna get more?
I like some piercings that I would like to have, but I can't name one. It's just I see some and I'm like, oh, that's cool, because like some cool jewelry looks cool, but
like here, like some rain.
no, I like all this cartilage stuff. Like I like many things, but then I think that I can't be bothered to take care of it and have it. But I think I will have something at some point, and the body modification, I think it's more exciting because like you have it done, you let it heal, and it's just there. Because piercings sometimes require more care, and like it can heal, and then you can catch it and gets upset again. But I'm not planning to do anything now, but I think I will have something in the future.
I remember you did that. What do you call it? That year, actually, one lady did it for you.
Chop the piece out.
I remember you took that piece of yourself and swallow it.
Yeah, that was.
It was
People say
amazing.
People say that it's a tradition, but it's like I think it's a joke tradition. But I kept to it. So
After that, I was like, oh.
I didn't want it to throw a piece of me out, so
likes
I
to
ate
eat
it.
himself.
It's a self-cannibalism.
So I'm running out of questions, man.
So
Maybe
enough is enough.
is enough.
Check my blog,
Yeah, check this motherfucker.
juris.blogspot.com. Read it somewhere.
There is no other people like him. So, with in one hand there is a knife, and in the other hand there is a lipstick.
And if you're a piercer, if you're considering to get into piercings, do your research, find good teachers, and never stop learning. How is that for a tip?
This is how you talk on that show.